Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to SP Reviews, where today we're going to be checking out a track from an act named King Short titled You Don't Know My Struggle Bish. And if we switch over to here, we have the track on YouTube and we're going to be checking out this track from start till finish. And we're going to hear what we think. Start from the top. Let's go. Let's do this. Yeah, I haven't listened to this musician before, so it'd be good to hear them out.
This is literally my superpower, you feel me? Like, this the shit I'm invincible at, like.
I kind of like the cinematic intro, to be honest.
I'm just gonna super saying that shit, you feel me? Send soup beans on deck.
Sorry, can we just stop to appreciate the interest and intrigue I've got with these strings and the filtered vocals coming into this verse here? The Super Saiyans ends up being so like the pop culture kind of Dragon Ball Z kind of stuff. It's dope, man. I look forward to what we're going to continue with next. Nice modulation on those vocals as well.
Those not kings, they jacks. Those not queens, they rats. Not from here, from Zion. I'ma stick to the facts. Tried to hit before I grabbed. I had it cover laps. Ginger peach finger snaps. There's no game, it's war. When the first to score. 8 seconds on my board. The baddest is hardcore. Nobody makes it to nobody famous. Losing your mind, so we out of the matrix. Wait till it's early and bring out the latest. So many creatures, we are the creators. You don't know my struggle.
Dude, have we got a different chord progression and bass line in this hook? What? We don't get that in a lot of hip hop and rap. Are we experimenting and doing different things? I'm not being facetious. Literally like 80 to 90% of the hip hop I hear has got one theme and that's it. As well, this drum kit, dude. Just the kick and the snare sounds so fresh without the overproduced kind of trap kind of stuff.
You don't know my struggle, ho. I'll be the first one in this bitch. I'll be the last one out this hoe. You don't know my struggle, bitch. You don't know my struggle, ho. I'll be the first one in this bitch. I'll be the last one out this hoe. You don't know my struggle, bitch. You don't know my struggle, ho. I'll be the first one in this bitch. I'll be the last one out this hoe. You don't know my struggle, bitch. You don't know my struggle, ho. I'll be the first one in this bitch. I'll be the last one out this hoe.
I dig it. It's such a simple hook, but it's so effective. I love those leads on there. And are we halfway through? I think this is one of the best hip-hop rap tracks I've heard all year. Seriously, I'm not saying that just to be nice. It's so cool to just have effort put into the arrangement and the structuring of it and the progression. They're distinct, man. Like, what more could you ask for? I feel like I've finally found the oasis in the desert.
There's no moon, that's flashlight. This is now no past life. Trap call quest, call fight. Peeking the future, it's all bright. The world for my soul, that's a small price. Robbing Peter to get Paul right. Spring in the summer and stretch out the hummer. Codigo, tequila, piranha, the water. I just heard daddy from somebody's daughter. Hit a couple dimes, then I go quarter. 6 on the line, one hell of a snorter. Numbing the pain, exploring with door. Nobody makes it to nobody famous. Losing our mind until we out the matrix. Wait till it's early, then bring out the latest. So many creatures, we're the creator.
So I suppose we're repeating the line for the bridge. You know, I think the song is talking about what it takes to get to a point where you're, you know, successful in your career, I suppose, as a rap hip hop musician. We don't know what this man's been through. Nobody does, only he does. He's the first in and he's going to be the last out, you know. Not, you know, taking it as stride, but it hasn't been easy, and I think people underestimated the difficulty of it.
You don't know my struggle, bitch. You don't know my struggle, ho. I'll be the first one in this bitch. I'll be the last one out this hoe.
I like the Matrix imagery that he's been talking about as well. Just almost see this as a simulation to go on the verge of madness like that. Great lead lines on the guitar then, fantastic development. Oh, and sorry, synth strings?
Yeah, that's my superpower.
It is a superpower, honestly. Like, this is legitimately some of the freshest stuff I've heard within the genre. Oh, yeah.
Fuck with your boy.
I'm actually genuinely impressed. I'm actually genuinely impressed with this. You don't know my struggle, Bish. What a track! Because this is the conclusion of my review of You Don't Know My Struggle, Bish by King Short. Yeah, I think I've spoken what this track is about. It's about someone sort of talking about their journey, the situation they're in, the place they're in, which is colors and numbers and zeros and ones, and you know, processing all of what's required there. Like life again is like a simulation. And then he's just telling the audience, maybe even breaking the fourth wall, saying, you don't know what I've been through. I'm going to be the first one and be the last one out. This is real for me. This is as real as it gets. I think that's easy to understand. There's a clear distinction between the verse and the chorus. And I love the intro with the variations of those strings and how they continue throughout. And then they're talking about the sense of beings and the Super Saiyan kind of stuff, like we're powering up to go hard. And at the end, it just tells you who he is and says, hey, yo, this encourages you to sort of like, I don't know, and interact more. It's great. I mean, the vocal performance was fantastic. We had a similar approach to the melodies, though I think part of that was the modulation, and it worked really well. It harmonized well as almost a unison note amongst the rest of the changes in the harmonies and progressions there, chord progressions. Really, I like the minimalism of that, the coloration within the vocals. It's more like, you know, well, no, we had like backing vocals and stuff like that as well as went along. I suppose there's obviously a bit more to it, but you know, like we had this person who effectively just nailed their performance, you know, went between those 8th, 16th and triplet, no rhythms there, flipped it up, went to the bridge there with triplets, I think, and then we went back to that memorable hook line. We had 3 distinct ways of approaching the vocals from this track. We had such range and diversity, and I think that it's almost spoiling the listener at this point in time. It encourages me to listen to more of King Short, because I want to hear what else he's up to. We have range, we have opportunities. It's going to be successful, you know. And then especially in that hook line, it sounds like he's exasperated. Like, come on, you don't know what I've been through. It's very authentic, but it's also patient and sort of caring sounding, and I have a lot of love and respect for that. The structure of the track, we had distinct sections with different bass lines and concepts. A chorus and a verse and intros. One with strings, and the outro had those luscious sort of synth pads, and oh my goodness, dude, we got spoiled. It's wonderful. It's wonderful to have those clear markings between, but also to transition so effectively between them. Strings, the way they were plucked and performed, added a sense of urgency to it. And the way we went half time in that chorus there to kind of slow it down to really absorb the, yo, you don't know my struggle. You know, it forces the listener to take a break away from the angst of those strings and other elements and the drums and really sort of feel it. And then it kind of goes doom, doom, doom. You know, it brings it up to like almost double time. It goes from half time to double time. The grooves are strong in this one. It's really refreshing. It's there's no weak points to it. I think even when we had the minimalism at the end with those synth pads and just the vocals going out there, we didn't need more than that, you know. It would have overcomplicated or over-egged the pudding, so to speak. The actual arrangement, the performance on the various instruments, like the synths, the bass synths, the drums, and the strings, and all that was succulent, well thought out, and there was a nice chemistry between the various instruments within the mix. They sounded like their textures and color variations matched, and the harmonies were succinct and pretty at parts, and it never felt too overwhelming, and there was never a sense of animosity or anything like that. Again, there was maybe frustration, but that's as far as it went. And I kind of like that vibe. I think it's almost, it's quite friendly. Even, you know, it's okay to talk about, you know, the struggle, but it can be kind of off-putting for new listeners if you're a bit too intense, you know? Even if you're familiar with the genre. Obviously, the vocals were the focal point of the entire experience, but at the same time, the accompaniment provided a sense of movement and grace and interest and engagement, and both things connected and collaborated well. And it's just left up to the production at that point, the recording, mixing, and mastering. And you know, the production was damn near flawless. I wouldn't have changed a single thing about it. You know, the vocals were recorded well, nice clear quality to that, you know, even with the modulation. The instruments were EQ'd incredibly well, nice filtering and panning of them as well. The effects processing and you know, the gluing in the mix and all that were tight, and limiting compression is stunning. All in all, a really strong track. I don't really know what King Short could have done to improve this. It's almost criminal that they aren't bigger than they are, so I really hope that people can go show King Short some love. But yeah, this is effectively my review of King Short's You Don't Know My Struggle Bish. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please do go check out his social medias and his YouTube page, and stay cool and stay safe. Please remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time. You need the help more than ever with all the great stuff going on in the world. And I'll catch you in the next review. Spiderhands Out.